beautiful winter evening, and I just needed to come out here and have a walk. Welcome to this video where it's gonna be an unscripted adventure of talking about getting your creativity back, more or less. One of the topics of discussion that come up a lot in my online community is this whole art block thing, and I'm going to just talk about that a little bit because I think that this is something that I go through all the time. And I feel like from the outside it may seem that I am super productive and painting all the time and kind of just putting out videos and stuff. But honestly, a lot of the time I feel like I'm not doing enough, and I have trouble kind of getting this creative spark back when I need it. I feel like when you have a creative profession like myself, I'm a full-time painter, and so I think that there's a lot of pressure to be creative all the time, and the truth is that you can't be creative all the time. It's not something that you can just turn on and off. I feel like it comes and goes. But one of the things that I do that really helps me get my creativity back is coming out into nature. Nature is my biggest inspiration, and I feel like every time I just leave the house and go out into a place where it's just quiet and surrounded by trees, or maybe a lake or any other kind of natural thing, I just instantly feel better. And I'm already feeling, even just from this short winter walk, like this well is being filled inside of me. I'm looking at the sun setting behind me and I'm like, God damn, that might make a nice painting. And that's the kind of thing that I feel like I really need. But I don't get it all the time. I currently don't live in a place where I have access to this type of nature. So for me, when I'm feeling really, down and not creative, I have to actively book time out of my life to do things like this and to just get grounded again and feel this connection to this source of inspiration that always seems to fuel me. So that is one of the biggest ways that I can kind of rediscover my creativity again. And I feel like every season in nature has something to offer. And so if you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to paint, try just taking your camera, even if it's your phone camera, just take it outside. Just do a little walk around and try and find something that you think, hey, that's kind of interesting. Lighting is a really big thing. Like, lighting to me is what really brings a painting to life. I love to work from my own reference photos, so it is just such a nice kind of creative field trip for me when I just go out into nature with my camera and I'm just free to kind of photograph whatever I want. But sometimes I really have to be in the mood for that. So sometimes I'll bring my camera places and I won't even take it out of its case. I'll just be like, no, the timing is not right. And then other times I'll take it out and I'll just be like, finger on the trigger the entire time. Like, everybody is just mad because I'm holding up the group, or I'm just taking too long photographing a mushroom on the ground. But that is just like that creative kind of tingle happening. And that's the type of thing that you really have to protect and hang on to when it comes to your entire creative process, because that's the stuff that really motivates you to make the work that is exciting. And anyways, so nature is definitely the best way for me to find my creative spark again. Another thing that I do when I'm feeling like I'm creatively blocked is I try a new creative project. I have a lot of different interests. I always tell people, like, I can't wait to retire because I'm just gonna do all of the things that I want to do but don't have time for. So, like, I want to get really into knitting or embroidery or baking or I don't know, like carpentry. There's so many things that I have an interest in that I just don't have the time to do. And when I'm feeling creatively blocked and I'm just like, ah, shit, I don't want to go into the studio. Those are the types of things that I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to carve out some time out of my week to just explore those a little bit. And I find when I do projects like that, so for example, last year I did the jewelry stuff and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was obsessed. Like I was on Pinterest every single night. I would close my eyes and all I could see were like the earring designs that I wanted to create. And I just was totally in it. And it, this excitement that I felt, it was like refueling. And even though it doesn't necessarily move my painting career forward, in some ways, it actually does because it just gave me this boost that I needed. And after I spent like an entire month working on these earring designs, I was like, okay, I did it. And now I'm ready to get back to painting. Like, I feel like sometimes when I take a long enough break from painting, I learn to really miss it. Another thing that I do when I'm feeling a bit blocked is I will seek out other artists' work who I love and just friggin' get in there. I'm just like on their website, I'm looking through all their paintings, I'm like trying to figure out like how did they do that technique? Like how did they capture the light in this way? And honestly, looking at artists' work who inspire me, it just gives me so much more motivation to then get back in the studio and like try some things out. And even just, you know, again, Pinterest. Honestly, you guys, Pinterest is such an underrated thing. Like maybe it's not even underrated, I'm just new to it, but I love it. Like now Pinterest, it just knows exactly what I like. I've spent enough time. The algorithm is feeding me, and I'll go on Pinterest and I'll be like, oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I like that painting. Oh, look, there's more like this. Oh, maybe I should try doing a painting like that, or maybe I should try, you know, whatever. Like it really gets the spidey senses tingling. And you know what doesn't get the spidey senses tingling when it comes to being creatively blocked is spending a lot of time on social media. I honestly feel sometimes when I'm on social media, I'll find myself like scrolling on my phone for a long time and I'll stop and I'll be like, I feel like shit right now. Like, what happened? And I feel like it's because I start comparing myself to other people and I'm like, wow, this person is so productive. Like they're putting out all this great work all the time and like what am I doing? Like I can't even bring myself to sit in my studio chair because I'm feeling so like unmotivated right now. And then I end up feeling even crappier about myself, and that is not a good way to be conducting one's business, okay, you guys? I think that when you're feeling really drained, social media can be the exact opposite of what you need. So I recommend replacing your social media time with Pinterest because at least on Pinterest, you're getting, you know, yes, there's an algorithm, but guess what? It's feeding you things that you need, that you like, that are going to hopefully inspire you to take action on certain projects. And just consider it, okay? Consider just, you know, deleting Instagram off of your phone for a week, and just anytime you feel the urge to just get on that platform, just fight it and click Pinterest instead and start exploring some things that you're interested in. And I can almost promise you it's going to help. One thing that I would really like to do more of this year is read books. And I feel like I tell myself that every year. I'm like, bitch, you need to be reading more books because you can learn a lot from books and you can also feel inspired by books. And I think that I kind of have a pretty good way of going about reading, and that is to kind of switch back between fiction and nonfiction. You know, I like to read fiction books because that is like the mind opener and it's like an escape, and it's also a healthy escape, not like scrolling on your phone. But the nonfiction stuff, I would recommend reading some good creative nonfiction books. Two that I read last year: The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. Amazing. Honestly, that's the type of book that I think that I'm gonna just, well, obviously I'm gonna hang on to it forever, but I think it's the type of thing that you can just kind of like open up any page and read it and be like, yes, there's a little nugget of wisdom for me for the day. I think that I'm going to start doing that actually. If I'm like, universe, I need some answers, I'm just going to open the Creative Act and I'm going to get my answers just from reading whatever pops out at me. That is a good way to live my life, I think. I'll let you know how that goes. But also, obviously, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. That's a great one. I think that has helped really a lot of artists out there when it comes to overcoming, you know, your artist block and just like feeding that inner child that we all have, but have been, you know, starving a little bit. And that one really helped me last year too. I want to do it again. I feel like The Artist Way is a book that you can read over and over and over again throughout your life and just probably pick up different things depending on where you are in your artistic career and in your life in general. So I definitely want to do that again and kind of like take it more seriously this time, because I read it all last year and I kind of like didn't really commit as much as I would like to. I think it is a big commitment because it's basically like it goes through all of these different weeks where it gives you like kind of like projects to do and stuff. And I want to take that more seriously next time around. But maybe that's something that I'll be reading when I'm feeling blocked again. So you guys, that's my take on how to kind of help you with your artist block. Everybody's different and everybody's going to have things that work better for them. But that's just the stuff that works well for me, and I hope that you found it interesting. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know. Honestly, I love filming outside, especially when I'm in this beautiful winter wonderland. Like sometimes I'm like, wow. We are so fortunate to live on such a beautiful planet. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, please let me know if you liked this type of video where, you know, we're just having a chit chat. I honestly feel a little bit naked because I don't have my tea with me, but it wasn't really feasible for this today. So, if you are drinking tea, please let me know what kind in the comments. I would love to know, actually. Okay, I hope that you have a great day. Whee! Oh my goodness. And I hope that you found this video interesting, and I hope that you can get outside and enjoy some nature, and I hope that you find a better way to handle your artist block, and that you can get back into creating as soon as possible. Jeez, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. I'm Brooke Cormier, and I'll see you next time. I can't really snap with mitts, but you get the point. Okay, bye-bye.